Impossible. We're solving the meat problem with more ticks. It's not nice to mess with Mother Nature.
Hey, remember that one time on the eve of President Trump's first presidential inauguration, Dr. Fauci promising that there's going to be a surprise pandemic?
Is that there is no question that there will be a challenge to the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases, both chronic infectious diseases in the sense of already ongoing disease, and we have certainly a large burden of that, but also there will be a surprise outbreak.
A surprise outbreak. There will be, which is a very strange thing for a little government scientist to say. There will be. It's almost like somebody was engineering all of this to happen. Could that somebody be Bill Gates? Probably. I mean, we've been able to read in the Epstein files that Bill Gates loved to email Jeffrey Epstein about preparing for pandemics. This really will be. Jeffrey Epstein really was the man that connected all of the major subplots for the last 40 years of American life. Maybe truly, precisely that is why they didn't want all of these files out. Let's go prepare for pandemics together, says Bill Gates. Bill Gates is somebody who was often emailing Jeffrey Epstein, asking about energy and pandemics, and it might be a great path forward here. Bill has done a lot of work for this. We should go figure that out. And what else? Boy, it'd be fun to all get together and talk about what we're going to do in order to create vaccines for a pandemic simulation. It's literally right here in the emails. Here's from Jeffrey Epstein to Bill Gates. Let's do pandemic simulations. It's like exciting stuff that you do on the weekend, right? That's like the same stuff. Anyway, Bill Gates is in the news again. People are like going back and finding kind of these old clips.
On behalf of our partners, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
So both the health policies and economic policies, we find ourselves in uncharted territory.
Event 201 was not the first scripted exercise.
Bill Gates did a ton of scripted pandemic outbreak exercises where he could go make hundreds of millions of dollars with vaccines and selling drugs. You create, of course, the demand and you own the supply. And if you can create that loop, it's a self-licking ice cream cone, right? And if you create a deadly disease and you own the supply of vaccines or treatments for it, then you could make a lot of money. Everybody needs to see this. Emergency rooms across the U.S. are experiencing record high tick bites. The weirdest of all of these is a new tick that is causing people to be allergic to red meat. Thankfully, Bill Gates is creating lab-grown meat that can be eaten by people who suddenly have an allergy to natural beef. We went ahead and checked. That stock's not doing great. Beyond Meat is now worth $1 today. It's not yet. This has been a tough. Beyond Meat it's had a tough ride, right? You can see here at sort of the height of COVID, it was doing well at $149 a share. My goodness, and now it's down to $1 a share. So a collapse of 99% there for that stock. So it didn't do great, but what's going on, right, on the tick front? What is happening here? Is this actually occurring? The answer is yeah, it is. Alpha-gal syndrome from Lone Star tick bites is an emerging public health concern in Massachusetts. You can see here in multiple corporate media articles, large increase in tick bites reported at hospitals across the U.S. As spring warmth kicks in. Tick bites are nasty business. I got Lyme disease when I went to a tick-infested area, and it sucks. It is terrible. It's the worst I've ever felt in my life. I really could literally barely keep going, and luckily we were able to sort of identify what was going on. You were able to take some. I was able to take some medication that would help. That helped me, but. Man, this seems like it is.
Tick-borne disease in America sits in the Northeast, New York, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. That is not random. In fact, that's where Lyme disease was very first identified, and not too long ago either. It was first identified in Connecticut in 1975. Before then, America never even heard of Lyme disease. And get this, just miles away from that very first case sits a government facility. This facility is called Plum Island, and it's an animal and disease center. However, it was also a lab during the Cold War. This lab was a part of America's biological research system, and it was focused on creating animal disease and biological weapons. In the 1950s and 60s, during the Cold War, America was actively researching biological warfare using insects and ticks. Not just pathogens, but the delivery systems, including ticks. They wanted to know how they could get it out there. And in 2019, Congress requested an investigation into whether specific ticks had ever been used in biological weapons between the 1950s and 1975. Now that's not a theory, that's an official congressional directive. If you don't think that this is already pretty strange, here's where things get even stranger. So the very first case of Lyme disease appears in Connecticut in 1975. Again, before that, ticks were nothing. In fact, in the 1970s, the tick population was so low and unheard of that America wasn't even tracking ticks. So we don't actually know where it came from or why it started. Here's what we do know. The ticks and the diseases they carried did not stay contained. The ticks spread north, south, and west, and they brought the diseases with them. In the 1980s, cases were in thousands. Nowadays, we see hundreds of thousands of tick-borne infections every single year in the United States. If you think that's strange, here's something even stranger. There's a tick-borne condition that is spreading like wildfire right now that's making people allergic to eating red meat. This alpha-gal syndrome, when people are getting bit by these very distinct ticks with white dots on them, they're not able to eat red meat anymore. Listen, whenever something feels off, there's a simple rule that's played all throughout history, and it's something that I preach time after time again on my channel if you're familiar with my videos. We have to follow the money.
Here's a great way to follow money, right there. There you go. There's the guy to follow money. So, alpha-gal syndrome. Is this something that is being spread by ticks? Are they doing this on purpose? Are they poisoning
and
us?
Again about how we need to get rid of cows to prevent global warming. It just so happens that he's highly invested in several non-meat alternative food source companies. He's also funding scientists and bioethicists to push studies suggesting the spread of the disease is actually a good thing.
Ugh. Okay. Let's just read the top line here. And nature lovers beware. Government officials are warning of an early increase in hospital visits due to tick bites in the U.S. this year. Millions of Americans enjoy the spring. The shift in temperatures brings the animals outside. Alpha-gal syndrome, a tick-borne illness that causes people to develop a serious allergy to red meat and dairy, emerging public health concern in Massachusetts. Dr. Catherine Brown in the Public Department of Health says that Lone Star tick that is commonly associated with the disease has historically been found in the South, but climate change changes the landscape, have resulted in species moving north. And alpha-gal syndrome, last summer, the tick researchers said cases of alpha-gal syndrome were exploding in Martha's Vineyard. 500 positive tests. Oh, they're experimenting on Martha's Vineyard. Got it. Okay. Everybody's like sharing and talking about this right now in my timeline. The teenager who ate beef on a camping trip and died. Red meat allergy. Cases of alpha-gal syndrome increasing 40% since 2020. Is this going to be their next thing? Farmers across the country are scratching their heads, not just from bug bites and finding boxes packed full of ticks dumped in their fields, just sitting there full of ticks in a box.
Research. What I want to know is, why are people finding boxes of ticks on their farmland, specifically large farms with cows, sheep, goats, horses? What reason would people want to spread ticks?
Take a photo of the box. Show us. Interesting times, considering Pfizer just announced that it's released a Lyme disease vaccine. Farmers in Missouri and elsewhere have been finding boxes of ticks. Definitely Bill Gates behind this somewhere. Missouri farmers reporting boxes of ticks. Snopes reached out to the farmers, and they did report suspicious boxes.
Oh, so farmers across the USA have reported boxes of ticks being left in their fields. And now we're being warned this is supposed to be the worst tick season ever. I know what you're thinking, but don't worry. Pfizer just announced...
Got it. Remember, preparing for pandemics. The playbook all along. They're just following it through. They killed their friend. They're going to kill all of you next. I guess they tried. They tried with me in Lyme disease. But here we are. Keep fighting back. The best way to do that is through the truth. Is the government trying to poison us with ticks? Tick-borne diseases? Just a reminder that in the JFK files that they revealed that they're planning on doing this in Cuba. Dropping billions of ticks on Cuba with like pumped full of diseases. They've done this before. It's in their own documents. They've done it before. Do it again. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe.